In the heart of a quiet African village, where the sun rose gently over red earth roads and palm trees whispered in the morning breeze, life used to move with calm simplicity. The villagers woke each day with hope, their hands busy with work and their hearts warm with community. Women arranged their vegetables in colorful baskets, men carved wood under the shade of mango trees, and children ran laughing across the village square. Every sunrise painted the sky gold, and every sunset wrapped the village in peace. But on one strange night, before the village had fully woken, a dark path lit up with an eerie red glow. Shadows danced on the ground, although nothing moved. The air felt thick, too thick. And then slowly, a single glowing coin appeared in the darkness. It pulsed like a heartbeat, cold and alive. This coin, the cursed coin, would soon change everything. Morning came, the market opened. Women placed tomatoes, peppers, fish and yams carefully on their stalls. Farmers walked from the farmlands with cassava and maize. Goats grazed lazily near mud huts. The sunlight warmed the village, but something unseen moved through the air. That same morning, Madam Kobi stepped out of her hut. She looked old, but something in her eyes was sharp and unsettling. Her wrapper was tied tightly around her waist, and in her hand she held that same ancient, cursed coin. She walked slowly toward the village path. Madam Kobi was known in the village, but not for good reasons. She didn't farm, she didn't trade, she didn't weave, she didn't even fetch water from the river. Yet she always had money, always, and no one understood how. Some whispered that she had secrets. Others said she had made a deal with something unseen, but no one had proof, not yet. She walked into the market with her silent, airy presence. As she passed, villagers whispered behind their huts, their eyes following her with suspicion. Madam Kobi did not greet anyone. She simply walked with purpose, holding the coin as though it belonged to her soul. Her first target was Mama Titi, the smiling yam seller who greeted everyone warmly. Mama Titi did not know that her life was about to shatter. Madam Kobi bought a few tubers of yam and paid with the glowing coin. Mama Titi laughed, saying, "Ha, today will be good." But the moment the coin touched her palm, a silent shadow spread beneath her stall. Her smile faded for just a second, but she ignored it. That night, while the moon watched quietly, Mama Titi's yam stall burst into flames. Villagers rushed with buckets of water, shouting her name. The fire rose high, red and angry. No one knew how it started. No one could stop it. By morning, nothing remained of her livelihood, only ashes. Mama Titi cried beside the burnt ruins, her fingers blackened with soot, her voice trembling. People gathered around, whispering about the strange misfortune. But Madam Kobi? She stood far away, watching with eyes that revealed nothing as the cursed coin returned to her wrapper like a loyal dog. The next day, Madam Kobi went after another victim, a pepper seller, known for her bright smile. She bought a basket of fresh peppers and dropped the cursed coin into the seller's hand. In the morning, the pepper seller collapsed in her hut. The peppers she had harvested the day before rotted instantly. Her customers avoided her stall. Her business died overnight. Before the village could process this, Madam Kobi moved to the fish seller. She bought a few pieces of fish, paid with the cursed coin, and walked away. By dawn, the entire fish stall smelled of death. Flies filled the place, every fish spoiled.
Soon the village fell into helpless silence. Shop doors closed one by one. The once busy market became a haunting space filled with worry and unanswered questions. But the village had not yet seen the worst. One afternoon, under a soft but heavy sky, Madam Kobi approached a young girl named Amara. Amara was cheerful, with bright eyes and small vegetables arranged neatly on her stall. She worked hard to support her sick mother, hoping each day would be better than last. Madame Kobi smiled at her, an unusual gesture, and bought vegetables. She handed Amara the cursed coin. The girl giggled, thanking her for the sale. But by nightfall, her mother collapsed on her mat. Their only goat died without warning. Amara's vegetables began to rot. The girl cried under a big tree, clutching her empty basket. She begged the ancestors for mercy, not knowing she had touched the very thing that destroyed the village. When villagers saw her suffering, something broke inside them. They gathered around Amara, their faces hardened. They had seen enough pain, enough sickness, enough mystery. They knew deep down who was responsible.
That night, with lanterns held high, villagers marched toward Madam Kobi's hut. The priest drew spiritual markings on the ground. Warriors held sticks. Mothers held their children back. Fear hung in the air like smoke. Inside her hut, Madam Kobi heard their approach. She grabbed the cursed coin tightly. It glowed violently, as if sensing danger. Shadows swirled around her. Spirits moved through her hut like dark wind. The villagers surrounded her home. The priest raised his glowing staff. The ground vibrated. The cursed coin lifted from Madam Kobi's hand, spinning in the air, surrounded by thick, dark smoke. Madam Kobi screamed as spirits dragged at her wrapper. The villagers stepped back in fear, shielding their eyes from the bright, dangerous glow. The coin burst with a blinding flash. Pieces shattered across the ground, glowing like dying stars. Dark spirits shrieked and fled into the forest. Madam Kobi collapsed and turned into ash, scattering into the night wind. The priest fell to his knees. The villagers stood silent, shaking. As the smoke cleared, broken pieces of the cursed coin lay quietly on the ground, their power gone forever. The next morning, the sun rose brighter than it had in months. Peace washed through the village. The market came back to life. Traders smiled again. Fish lay fresh on tables. Peppers glowed red. Cloth sellers arranged their beautiful fabrics. Children ran through the market laughing freely. Amara hugged her mother, who had regained her strength. The villagers gathered at the shrine to thank the ancestors for restoring balance. And as the day went on, the village returned to the peaceful life it once knew. But every now and then, when the moon is full and the night is quiet, some villagers say they hear a faint tapping beneath the earth, like a coin trying to rise again, searching for another hand to steal from, waiting for another soul desperate enough to hold it.